came out of the shower. As you can see, I'm still a bit wet. Pause. Um, y- because I wanted to teach you about the power of acceptance and how it's helped me. Sometimes something happens that isn't favorable. Like sometimes the cards haven't been dealt in your favor, and rather than complaining, it's better. It's a lot better to accept your circumstances and start to think about how you can navigate through without like complaining never helps. Complaining is a form of bitchery, in my opinion. It's like I hate hearing myself complain because it never helps. It makes me feel worse about myself if I have to complain. Because complaining, sometimes I feel like when I do complain, it's a case of I have nothing else to do. So feeling sorry for myself is the best option, which I don't like. I prefer to sit down and actually think about how I can navigate through the cards have been dealt. Like I was watching a video about an army vet that lost his sight. So like he came back from a mission like all damaged and stuff, and they were doing surgery on him. He woke up unable to see. Then spent a few more hours doing surgery on his eyes. The surgeons told him, "Yeah, you won't be able to see again." And then the person narrating the story said it was like the longest sigh he had ever heard, like a 1 minute stretch of the army vet just sighing, kind of. That was his acceptance. Like that was him accepting what had happened to him, and it's like his question was, "All right, so what are we going to do now?" It's like it's way better than saying, "Oh man, that sucks, man." Like he would have made himself feel worse, and it doesn't help. Like actually accepting your situation, it's just way better. Like I found an exercise too, and this is scientifically proven. I don't know the study, but if you watch like the Huberman podcast on, I think it was a video about stretching. The podcast episode was about stretching. He talked about how yoga practitioners are better at resisting pain and are generally more flexible than like people who do regular stretching because I believe yoga teaches you to breathe through certain discomfort and breathe that like breathing is kind of like accepting. Like Huberman talked about how they 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 visualize themselves just being at peace with the pain rather than resisting. Like you see guys in the gym, they're like grunting when it's a really hard set. Well, sometimes it's just better to just. It's really hard sometimes, and I understand why you would grunt, but like it's a lot better to just accept and breathe. So these principles, as a philosophy, and even scientifically, it's just the way to live life. And like, why would you complain, bro? Like, I really don't like when people complain. I hate when I find myself complaining. It's like, just accept your circumstances, and especially if you know complaining won't change, or complaining almost never changes the situation you're in. So, yeah, man, just accept the things that come to you, and you'll find a way out.